Hi there, let's do a yoga for our core. Our core helps us in our everyday life all the time. A strong core helps to keep our back safe. It helps when we're lifting things like groceries or children. It helps us in all our movements. So it's so important to keep our core working, keep it activated and keep it strong. So we're going to do a yoga for our core today. Let's begin by coming to a seat. You might cross your legs, you might sit on your knees, whatever feels good for you. We're just going to take a moment to tune into our bodies. So when you've got comfortable, find length through the spine. Hands can face up or down. Down is more grounding, facing upward, we're welcoming more things into our life, welcoming energy in. So whatever you feel you need today with your hands, and just closing down the eyes or gazing just in front of you and tuning into the body and into the breath. Noticing how your body feels today. And noticing what the mind is telling you, because we are coming into a core yoga and I know that can be quite intimidating at times, but just knowing that this yoga is here for you, it's to work for you, so you can adapt and adjust and make it suit your needs. Just noticing how it feels to breathe in your body today. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes and welcoming yourself back into your space. We're going to begin today by coming onto our backs. So grounding down through the feet and rolling down through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And we're just going to simply begin by laying on our backs and just tilting our pelvis up towards the sky ever so slightly. So we're not lifting off the mat, we're just tilting, activating through that core, engaging it, becoming aware of it. And then just release that tilt. And on an inhale, coming back through, engaging that core, turning it on, just activating through here. Release. Tilting on an inhale. And exhale, release. This time we're going to tilt that tailbone towards us and we're going to begin to ground down through the feet and lift up off the mat. Coming into a bridge pose. Breathing here. And then exhale, releasing down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. On an inhale, tilting that pelvis up, lifting up. And then as you exhale, one vertebrae at a time, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. Two more times, moving with your breath, lifting and lowering. Just becoming aware of that middle area, the belly, the lower back, because the core is more than just the abs, it is also the lower back. Releasing down. Bringing the knees into the chest and taking the hands behind the knees, and we're just going to begin to rock up and down the spine. Now if this doesn't feel good for you, then you can just roll to one side and come up. Otherwise, rolling up and down and coming through seated. Rolling over those legs through your tabletop position. So grounding down into the knees and into the hands. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And here we're going to tuck our toes under. So again, we're coming back to this core. So activating that core. And as we inhale, we're going to begin to lift those knees ever so slightly off the mat. It doesn't have to be lifted high, we're just lifting them up. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, activate that core, holding here a moment, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower. This time as we inhale and lift, we're going to hold here, keeping those knees off the mat, activating through that core. Breathe in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. Now try and resist that urge to just release really quickly, but instead taking your time to lower. Tucking those toes, and this time we're going to lift up and hold again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instead of lowering this time, we're going to lift the hips up towards the sky for our down dog. So you might want to walk your hands out a little further, your feet a little back, and then just moving the legs one leg at a time, moving into that downward dog. Really bending through the knees, finding length through the spine to lengthen through the legs. Now knowing that this pose is always an option to come back to at any point in time in this practice today. And child's pose is also another option. On your next inhale, we're going to round through the spine, coming through to a plank position. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back and up for down dog. Inhale, really curve through the body as you round forward to plank. Exhale back. Inhale, coming forward and through the arms, curving through that spine as you do. Exhale, sink it back. Moving with your body here. In time with your breath. Now this time we're going to come forward and we're going to hold that plank pose. Option to drop the knees for half plank. Activating through that core and just breathing here. Now everybody lower the knees. We're going to come through our half chaturanga. So moving our chest forward between the hands, our elbows are coming over our wrists, lowering down halfway, and then lower down the full way to the mat. Inhale for a baby cobra. So our hands are coming down beside our ribs. We're lifting up through the chest, and you can release the hands off the mat because we're not actually pushing into them here. Taking the hands down to the mat this time. Inhale, lifting up a little higher. And then tucking those toes, sinking back to your down dog. On your next inhale, bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find length and a half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Ground down into that left leg here. As we inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up as if it's on a marionette string, lifting up in front of us. Taking the hands and clasping them around that right knee. Coming through a balancing pose. Because in balancing poses, we do have to really activate our core. So breathing here as you balance. Then unclasping the hands, and we're going to begin to send that leg back, leaning forward over that front leg, sending that right leg back, and then ever so slowly taking that foot back into your high lunge. Breathing here. Can you release those shoulders a little more down away from the ears? Now dropping that back foot, taking it parallel to the short side of the mat, left heel is intersecting the right, and taking the arms long for your warrior two. Circling the hands down to the mat, coming through the toes of that back foot. And we're going to ground down into that right hand and open up to the left side. Left hand comes down to the mat and stepping back through your plank position. Now, option to come through half chaturanga or full chaturanga here. So lowering down halfway, pushing through and opening up into cobra, and exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees, lift between the hands and step forward, finding length in a half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs, grounding down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Ground down into that right foot this time, lifting that left knee up, coming back to that marionette string, taking the hands and clasping them around that left knee. Then releasing the hands, bringing them in front of the chest and beginning to lean forward over that right leg, sending that left leg back, and ever so slowly beginning to bend into that right leg as you step back for your high lunge. Can you release the shoulders down? Now dropping that back foot parallel to the short side of the mat, extending the arms long. Warrior two. Circle the hands down to the mat, coming back onto the toes of that back foot, grounding down into the left hand, opening up to the right side. Right hand comes down to the mat, stepping the right foot back, coming through your half plank or full plank for chaturanga, into your cobra, and then back to your down dog. Bend the knees up between the hands, step forward. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Ground down into that left leg, lifting the right knee up. Hands come to that right knee. Now this time taking that left hand and keeping it around that right knee and opening up to the right side of the mat. So extending that right hand back behind you. Coming into a twist here. Fixing your gaze so that you can find your balance. And then circling that right hand back, bringing the palms together in front of the heart so you can lean forward. Extending back through warrior three this time. And then bending into that left knee to step back for your high lunge. Drop that back heel, open up to the right side for your warrior two. Fix your gaze out over that front left middle finger. Then circle the hands to the mat, coming up onto the toes of that back foot. Open up to the left side. Now option to stay here or option to roll to the pinky toe side of that right foot, walking that left foot out in front of you in a half plank or stepping it back into full side plank. Circle that left hand to the mat, coming back through your plank pose, lowering down in chaturanga, lifting up through cobra, and exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find length in your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Grounding down into that right leg, lifting that left knee up, taking the hands and clasping them around that knee. Now keeping that right hand on that left knee and opening up to the left side. Coming back through center, bringing the palms together. Leaning over that right leg, sending that left leg back for your warrior three. Knowing that if your balance is different on different sides, then that's okay too. I'm a little bit more off balance on this side. Bending into the right leg and stepping back, finding your high lunge. Then opening up to your warrior two. Gaze coming out over that middle right finger here. Circling those hands down to the mat, coming up onto those back toes so you can open up to the right side. Now grounding down into that left hand, option to roll to the pinky toe side of the foot. Moving that right foot in front of you for a half plank or stepping it back for full side plank. Circling the hands down to the mat, coming through your plank, chaturanga, into your cobra, and exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. Find length on a half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Pausing for a breath here. Bringing the hands down beside you into Tadasana, opening up through that chest, grounding down through the feet, tailbone tilted slightly. Breathing here. On your next inhale, reach those arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Find length and a half lift, then plant your hands and step back to plank. Come through your chaturanga into your cobra, and exhale back to down dog. Breathe in here. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bringing that right knee to the left elbow. Now holding here, or option to extend that right leg, placing that right foot on the mat, coming to the big toe side of the left foot and opening up for full and triangle. Left hand comes back to the mat, bringing that right knee through the center, sending it up in three-legged down dog and returning that foot to the mat. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, bringing the knee towards the right wrist. Then extending that left leg, opening up for full and triangle. Right hand comes back, knee comes towards the chest. Extend it up in three-legged down dog, and then bringing that foot down to the mat. Coming through your down dog. Coming back to those rolls, so coming forward on an inhale, rolling through the spine for plank. Bend the knees, send the hips up towards the sky, down dog. Inhale, coming forward and through, and exhale back. Inhale, coming through plank, and then coming through one final vinyasa. Inhale to open, exhale to down dog. Bend the knees up between the hands and step forward to sit. Bringing the feet down to the mat in front of you, opening through the chest, lifting up, and then walking back slightly, leaning back, lifting one knee and then the other for boat pose. Option to stay here in your boat, or option to extend your arms alongside the legs. Breathing here, open through that chest. Then beginning to release the feet to the mat, and we're going to roll down onto our backs. Bringing the right knee into the chest, extending that left leg long. Taking the left hand to the right knee and crossing it over the left side of the body. Extend that right arm out beside you, coming through a twist. Option 2, look up to the sky, or option to look over that right shoulder. I'm going to look up today because I have a beautiful view. Coming back through center in an inhale. Bringing the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg long. Taking that left arm out beside you and crossing that left knee over the right, coming through your twist. And bringing the knee through center in an inhale, bringing both knees in towards the chest, extending the feet up towards the sky and taking the hands and clasping them on the pinky toe side of the feet for happy baby. Now, option to stay in stillness in happy baby, or you might move a little from side to side, whatever feels good for you. Just breathing here. And then releasing the feet to the mat and taking any final movements you feel you need here today. Before lengthening the legs out long, arms come down beside you, palms faced up. And just letting go and simply being in your Shavasana. Beginning to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. Taking some movements through the fingers and the toes. Making that movement bigger through the wrists and the ankles before reaching the arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. Before bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing here for a moment just to find space for gratitude. And then when you're ready, coming up to sit. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart. Thank you for joining me in this core yoga flow today. I hope you have enjoyed it, that you were able to activate your core and that you're feeling nice and strong and ready to go into your day or to finish out your day. If you did like this class, then you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to see when videos drop. I will see you again real soon. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.